right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to go through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. I want to see what the Bitcoin miners did for the week. I want to see what Bitcoin is doing over the weekend. So this is a weekend edition. If you're new to the channel or you have not yet subscribed, please remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you want, you can get notifications by hitting the notification button. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, I would appreciate it. And lastly, if you are interested, you can support the channel by hitting the join button. You'll see that right next to the subscribe button on the YouTube page. So membership has its privileges. You can go check that out. I appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Okay, let's go through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. I want to start with the Bitcoin miners and go through what they did this week. As most of you guys probably know, this was not the greatest week for Bitcoin or the Bitcoin miners. Some were worse than others. So if you guys remember, or if you're new to the channel, about a week ago I said, I think our next move is up to $29,000. I think we're going to hold where we're at. So let's see what happened this week, and I'm going to tell you what I think now. I will give you an update on that opinion and see if I'm still in the same place or if this week's activity has changed my mind. All right, so the first chart I want to look at is basically this is week over week. This is this Friday over last Friday for the Bitcoin miners. So you're going to see a very, very red board. There is one exception. TeraWulf was up 8% this week. That is the only Bitcoin miner that was in the green. All of the rest of the Bitcoin miners that I follow were in the red this week. They were down, and some of them were down a little, and some of them were down a lot. So this was a pretty tough week for the Bitcoin miners. They underperformed Bitcoin quite a bit, but in gold, you're going to see a minus 7%. That is what Bitcoin did on the week. So Bitcoin did have a pullback this week. Obviously, Bitcoin's been an outstanding run so far in the year 2023. January was fantastic. February has not quite kept up with January's pace, and obviously this last week, we've now pulled back 7%. But you can see the Bitcoin miners actually, for the most part, other than Wolf and Mawson, the Bitcoin miners all did anywhere from a little bit worse than that to a lot worse than that. So down at the bottom, you're going to see Iris Energy was down 25% this week. Stronghold was down 23% this week. Hive 21%, Cypher 21%, Hut was down 19%. DigiHost was down 19%. So all of those were very close to a triple leveraged play to the downside on Bitcoin, which was down 7%. And then you'll see a bunch in the middle that were more along the lines of a double leveraged play to the downside. You're going to see right in the middle, Riot's down 11% and Marathon is down 13%. Those are the two largest market cap Bitcoin miners. So I like to keep my eye on those to see what's happening there. But week over week, not a great week. Now, we've had some absolutely phenomenal weeks so far this year in 2022. We've had weeks where every single thing on this board was big time green. So this week is not that way. Now let's take a look year to date. So I want to measure January 1st until this Friday, which was February 24th. When we look at things from that perspective, you'll see we're still very, very green on the year in the year 2023. So we did have a pullback this week. Bitcoin is now up 40% on the year. You'll see the gold bar on the graph is Bitcoin. So that is near the bottom of the list. So the vast majority of the Bitcoin miners are outperforming Bitcoin this year. And again, it's very similar. A lot of them are 2x leverage to the upside, 3x leverage to the upside, and a few of them have kind of gone ballistic. I want to start with the three that are underperforming. So CleanSpark is up 35% year to date, whereas Bitcoin is up 40%. So that is absolutely, from January 1st until now, that's lagging Bitcoin. Stronghold's up 29%, so that is lagging. And TeraWulf actually this week just finally went positive on the year. They've been negative all year. So those three are underperforming. I always look for potential opportunities and or, the flip side of that is something wrong with these. This is a potential signal of either an opportunity or something that's distressed that we need to take a second look at. For me, I actually have a position in all three of those. Two of them I've added this year, which is Stronghold and TeraWulf. So for me, I'm looking at this as a little bit of an opportunity. Now, I do have just smaller positions that I've just opened recently. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to buy any of these stocks or sell any of these stocks. What I'm trying to do is give you guys some charts and some information and show you the way I look at this, where I see things jump out. And then if something jumps out, I take a closer look, obviously, and then ultimately, eventually, after you're done with your due diligence, you make a buying decision. CleanSpark has long been one of my high conviction plays. I believe I had that in my top 8 that I gave on January 1st. 2023. I believe I had CleanSpark ranked number 2 out of all the Bitcoin miners for me personally. So that's been a high conviction play, and you can see it has lagged the market big time. So again, if we look at the two biggest market caps, you've got Riot, which is the largest market cap Bitcoin miner. It's up 73% on the year. So that's not even quite a 2x leverage on Bitcoin. So to me, I think that's lagging a little bit as well. You've got Marathon up 95%, so that's a little bit better than a 2x, but still not fantastic. Having said that, it is up 95% in 2 months. So, when you look at it from that perspective, the Bitcoin miners have performed very, very well so far in the year 2022. This was one of the rare weeks where we did pull back a little bit, and you've still got a couple of these. Cypher is up 170% this year. That is now the third largest market cap as a result of that massive move to the upside. And then Core Scientific, which is in chapter 11 right now, they're up almost 300%, and DigiHost is up over 300% even after their pullbacks this week. So, year to date, this is still a very nice picture. This board is completely green, so that's nice to see. Let's hope we can stay that way. Okay, on the flip side, this chart measures from August of 2022 until this Friday. So Bitcoin hit 25,000 last week, and that is the first time since August of 2022. So at the beginning of this list, you'll see Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down 8% from that $25,000 mark that it did hit earlier this week and late last week. So it's pulled a little bit off of its highs, but it is holding 23,000. We will do the charts right after this. So DigiHost in that same period of time is down about 8%. So that's the same as Bitcoin. That is the best performer from August until now out of all the Bitcoin miners. You'll see the rest of these have lagged behind pretty severely, much more than the 2 or 3x leverage that we're used to looking at. These are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x leverages to the downside. So it is my opinion, based on this chart, with Bitcoin, if it can hang around 25,000 and then maybe push through and make the next move up, I think there's some very big moves in some of these Bitcoin miners. And again, every Bitcoin miner is different. So you can't just look at them all and say they're all going to go up. But I believe there's a lot of opportunities in here. I see what I consider a lot of quality companies down anywhere from, 40 to 80%. You're going to see Greece down 89% from where it was last August when Bitcoin was at 25,000. That is a drastic move. Core Scientific's down 91%. That one is a little bit different. They're in chapter 11, so that changes the story a little bit. So obviously a deep dive needed there. Stronghold's down 82% from where it was. Now, Stronghold has reorganized their entire business operations. So that one also requires a closer look. So this is where you got to be careful. A lot of these Bitcoin miners have run into liquidity problems in that period of time from August of 2022 until now, and they've had to restructure their business. So some of these pullbacks are partially explained by that, but there are other ones that I believe just represent an absolute straight out opportunity. Okay, so quickly, if we look at market cap, you're going to see Riot is still the largest market cap. It's under $1 billion now at $982 million. Marathon is in second place at $779 million. Those two have been the largest market cap Bitcoin miners over the last 2 years. They have switched spots between first and second from time to time, but those two have been first and second for the last 2+ years. So from there, you've got Cypher and Hut and Hive and CleanSpark and Bitfarms in that $200 to $300 million market cap range. So most of those still technically qualify as microcap stocks, and really the rest of them below that are technically nano cap stocks. So you're going to see DigiHost at $41 million, DMG Blockchain at $39 million, all the way down to Stronghold at $21 million, Gree at $23 million. Those companies were worth hundreds of millions of dollars as far as their market cap at their peak between the last year and a half ago. So, a lot of these companies are still down between 85 and 95% from their highs. So this is where your risk reward comes in. Obviously, when you have these tiny market caps, the risk-reward equation potentially, it's a lot easier for a $21 million company to 10x. At that point, it would still only be $210 million, and it would just be between CleanSpark and Bitfarms. So, and these types of moves do happen. We've seen already this year 300%, 400% moves. So big moves happen in this space, and the smaller the stock, the more potential upside. However, the more the risk. So this is where you guys need to know your risk tolerance and weigh the risk reward for your own investing decisions. Okay, let's go to the Bitcoin charts. If I look at the Bitcoin chart on the 15-minute time frame, so this is zoomed in. Coming into the weekend on the Friday live stream, I said we had 2 goals for this weekend. Number 1, there's a purple line down here at 22,430. I thought that was an extremely important line that we needed to hold if we want this rally to continue. And again, I was predicting that we were going to go up to $29,000. My original prediction for the last several months was that we would have a rally up to $25,000. I said I would reassess when we get there and see what I think the next move up is. So I did say this week, I do think we're going to hold our ground rebound and move up to $29,000. And then I guess we'll have to reassess again at that point. So of course that has not happened yet, but we did do the first thing, which was hold this purple line. And when we zoom out a little bit more, we really never even got close to this. So I think Bitcoin held very strong over the weekend. This is a lot of sideways consolidation. A lot of the indicators are resetting themselves, maybe allowing us for that potential next leg up. So I will tell you right now, I still believe we're in a consolidation period and the next move is to the upside. And I do think ultimately that's going to run us up to 29,000. So I do want to be crystal clear. I'm not saying we're in a bull market and it's up for there forever. I just believe we're going to get back to that 25,000. There is a line at $25,200. If we cross that, then I do believe we will take a run up to 29. When we look at the larger time frames and zoom out, it's going to become more obvious. But what I wanted to show you is this orange line, of course, is where Bitcoin was when the US equity markets closed on Friday. So you're going to see we've hung very, very tight to this orange line all weekend. Not a lot of movement. This green line, which was previously support for a little while, looks like it has turned into some short-term resistance. We've tested this 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and now kind of 5 times. So it has shown as a little bit of short-term resistance, but the good news is this is very sideways consolidation. So if I zoom out to the 4-hour, you can see this a little better. You can see these are the 4-hour candles over the weekend. They've all been very, very close in a tight pattern, right? This 4-hour candle was where the market closed on Friday, so we have not strayed too much from that. And you'll see in the 4 hours right before that, we did get down and almost test this purple line. So that is why going into the weekend, I felt it was very important we stay above this line, because we did have this 4-hour candle wick get pretty close to this line. We got as low as $25,520. So that was only about $100 or $90 away from this line. But you can see from there, we really haven't gotten back there yet. So hopefully this holds overnight. Obviously, Sunday nights and Monday early mornings can be volatile before the equity markets open in the US on Monday. But what I'm hoping to do is establish another higher low somewhere in this range right here. If we do that, then I think we can go retest 25,200 again. And if you guys take a look, you'll see this line at 25,000, there's a blue dotted line. We actually crossed this line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of these 6 days, we did get over $25,000. So that was the peak of the rally so far. We have had a nice cool off, but if we can stay sideways here, I do think we can make the next leg up. Then obviously the big test is going to be, can we get past this line at $25,200? If we can, there's a gigantic void. Bitcoin has not traded very much. There is a gap between 25,200, and if I move this down a little, you'll see 28,800. So that's the gap that I think we can close if we can get the momentum and close above 25,200. Also, with the Bitcoin miners, I believe that the reason that they're lagging is, you know, we tested this $25,200 line and basically failed. We spent almost a week here. We didn't get above it. I do think the next big move for the Bitcoin miners is waiting for Bitcoin to break above this line of resistance. So that's what I'm looking to happen over the next week or 2 or 3. So, you know, we'll keep our eye on this, but I have not changed my mind. I still think it looks like we're shaping up nicely to form a higher low and potentially make another run at this 25,200. And if we can break through that, maybe make a run up to 29,000. So of course, as always, this is not financial advice. Please invest carefully, do your own due diligence, know your own risk tolerance. And I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel. And of course, you can smash the like button. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.